As the second half of the 2021 season rolled through Atlanta, 4 grueling rounds took its toll on these all-star drivers.
Oh, broken tie bar on the front.
As the Andersons took the opportunity to play in the rain, the torrential downpour made it hard for the field of 12 to get a grip on the speedway. But as the sun broke over the Georgia horizon, Cory Rubble took the zombie from the muddy depths into victory lane. Now these monsters make their way to the gateway of the West to see who can make their mark at the ominous dome. Will this season's favorites continue to dominate, or will one of the quiet few take the opportunity to accept the challenge and grab the coveted event trophy? This is round 21. This is St. Louis. This is Monster Jam. Nice air.
And he saves it. There is your wow factor. Big air out of the box. Awesome move, look at that.
Welcome to the Dome at America's Center in St. Louis, Missouri. And after a historic weekend at Atlanta Motor Speedway, we are back indoors here at the Dome. Hello everyone, I'm Scott Jordan alongside Cole Stevens, and tonight we return to the Dome for the first time since January of 2020 when Stadium Championship Series Green rolled into town. Now we're coming off of 4 rounds in Atlanta, which was capped off by Zombies Cory Rubble winning the event championship. Now he's been building a lot of momentum. Cole, can he continue that here tonight?
I think Barry definitely can. He's been very consistent round after round. If he can continue what he did in Atlanta here tonight, I think he could definitely have the event championship.
This building has been special to many drivers in Monster Jam, including you, Colt. Now, back in 2020, you drove Brodozer at the 2 events here, but going all the way back to 2016, you revealed yourself as the driver of Doomsday after your freestyle run, man. So talk about your special memories here in St. Louis.
Yeah, Scott, St. Louis has a special spot for me. I did get to actually tell the fans that I was driving Doomsday. It was 2 whole years where nobody knew who the driver was, so I took the opportunity here in St. Louis with my family all the way from Texas, came up and told everyone that I've been driving, and it's been great. Only thing I can tell you, Scott, is I botched a backflip, and I learned something that day is don't do them that way. But I came back in Brodozer, did the 8-pack backflip perfect, so St. Louis has always been good to me.
Amazing runs in Brodozer. I was here for those. Let's take a look right now at the driver lineup for round 21. Cole, who do you see making a strong push for the event championship?
I got to tell you, Scott, Kristen Anderson went back to arenas, back to her roots, and she was just blowing everybody away. So if she can continue that momentum, she could do a good job here in St. Louis as well.
And she has been catching fire, especially in our arena shows. So let's hear from the Gravedigger driver. Right now, Leslie Mears is standing by with Kristen Anderson in this UNOH pit report.
Well, we're glad to have Kristen Anderson back in a stadium this weekend because you had a little bit of a time off and you spent some time in the arena setting in Biloxi. So what was it like to be back there?
It felt really good to get back into the arena. I really feel like I'm at home in the arenas. The last time I had competed in the arena would be in Salt Lake City earlier in January this year. So after going an entire first quarter, touring all year long on the stadiums, I was worried if I was going to get back in the arena and forget how to do it. But I remembered, I felt right back into place, and I almost won every event. So I really want to take that confidence and that momentum. I'm feeling really good out here, and I think that St. Louis is going to be a good weekend for me.
Let's take a look right now at the Monster Jam Steel Titans 2 video game event breakdown. Our drivers are going to compete in 3 competitions: Monster Energy Racing, the Great Clip Skills Challenge, and Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle. 12 points will be awarded to the winner of each competition with a total of 36 points on the line, and the driver with the most points at the end of the night will be crowned the overall event champion. And now it's time for Track Talk presented by Great Clips. Cole, last time you competed on this track, it was that figure 8 formation. Now we're back to Chicago style that we've seen for most of the season. So what are your expectations for the track tonight?
You know, the drivers have had plenty of opportunity to get to know this track throughout the season. I heard that the dirt crew brought in brand new dirt for this event, so that's going to be very interesting. I noticed in practice that the dirt was actually getting a little bit ruddy, so the drivers are going to have to be careful of that. Watch out that the trucks don't catch and go on their lids early. One thing about it, though, is this track is a lot bigger, so there's lots of opportunity for high speed and big air.
Here's tonight's bracket for Monster Energy Racing: Black Pearl versus Gravedigger, Avenger versus Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy, Zombie versus Max D, and Rage up against Megalodon and Bakugan Dragonoid, Overboard, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, and Monster Energy, all receiving first round buys. Of those round one matchups, which one are you looking forward to the most?
I'm going to go with the first one, Scott. Like I said, Kristen Anderson's coming off a win streak. Colvinard had a little bit of a break, so I'm excited to see that race and who can come out on top.
And let's get right to that first round matchup. In the right lane from Myrtle, South Dakota, Colvinard in the Black Pearl. And in the left lane out of Kill Hills, North Carolina, Kristen Anderson in Gravedigger. And even though Colvinard driving the Black Pearl, he is a big part of that Gravedigger family. And right away, Colvinard with a great jump off the race ramp.
Cole's got a good corner. Oh yeah, perfect turn right there.
I thought he went a little too tight. Now Kristen off the race ramp. She gets a little jump, but it goes wide, and Colvinard's got her.
She almost got him back, Scott. You can see him going in the corner. He's jamming the brakes really hard, setting that truck up to make it around that corner nice and smooth. That might be the ticket, is actually make two 90-degree turns in each sweeper.
Up next, two-time World Finals Freestyle Champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. He will meet World Finals Freestyle Champion Lindsey Reed in Monster Mutt Dalmatian Galaxy. And this season, in active competition, Jim has had Lindsey's number 3-0 against her. But in practice yesterday, Lindsey Reed got the better of the two-time World Finals champion.
You notice something different, Scott? We don't have the turn tires out there right now. There's actually little red pods in each corner. So the drivers are going to have to be very aware of that, because if they hit it, they're definitely going to penalize themselves. Lindsey's up on a converter, very high.
Jim Kohler low off the ramp. He gets to the chalk first. Lindsey Reed goes sideways off the race ramp.
There's something wrong with the timing in Jim's truck. I keep seeing flames coming out of the right side exhaust.
But Jim Kohler is going to take the win. Next in round one, the fifth matchup of the season between Zombies Bar Musauer and Max D's Tom Mance. They are 2-2, so a rubber match here. A lot on the line. Barry coming off a huge event championship win in Atlanta.
Watch the inside of Tom Mance's tire. In practice, I saw him picking that inside tire up, going through the corners.
Up on three wheels again for Tom Mance. He does hit that turning pod, and he is off the ramp.
Got to catch up a lot of time. He needs to make up a lot of time, Scott.
Tom Mance trying to catch him, but Barry Musauer is going to get the win, so not enough for Tom Mance on the comeback.
Tom wins the corner and tried to stay a little wide, but the truck got too much bite, and he took the turn too tight, and it hit the turn pole, which then penalized himself.
Before our next matchup, let's head downstairs to our pit reporter, Leslie Mears.
Guys, Cory Rummel did some homework before this matchup with the new dirt and the wider track. He said he talked to the dirt guys, and the track is 5 feet wider than it normally is. So he can't do his normal throttle out slide around the corners. He said he's going to turn, shoot, and turn again to make it around those corners as fast as he can.
Thank you, Leslie. Our final matchup, Adam Anderson, Cory Rummel, Megalodon versus Rage. Let's see how Adam Anderson does without that spool. He's got to slow down, but Cory Rubble goes completely sideways. Same thing happened in practice, Colt.
Now he's trying to drift around that corner, and like Leslie said, it's 5 feet wider. It's hard to do that.
So Adam Anderson is going to get the win. Cory Rubble, all kinds of issues here in round one. Let's take a look at the racing bracket after round one. Ryan Anderson will enter in Bakugan Dragonoid. He goes up against the Black Pearl. Overboard against Avenger. Great Clips Mohawk Warrior and Zombie. And then Monster Energy and Megalodon. Big matchup between Taladu and Adam Anderson. Now we say goodbye to round one. We say hello to round two. 4 more trucks enter the bracket as Monster Energy Racing continues next on Monster Jam. Welcome to round 21 of the 2021 Monster Jam season in St. Louis. Round 2 of Monster Energy about to start. And we've got 2 of the top independent owner and drivers, Jamie Gardner and Jim Kohler. Avenger Overboard here in round 2.
These guys got a history. They like to trash talk each other. Jamie told Jim Kohler that he's a sitting duck.
Both hit the throttle hard on the start. Here goes those turns. Kohler goes really tight. The side, the back of Overboard swung out.
You know, Jamie's going really fast, but he's having a lot of issues.
Jim Kohler getting getting it done now. Moving on to the semifinals.
I'll said it before, Scott. I'll say it again. Smooth as fast. And Jim Kohler did exactly that to get that win.
We got some news back in the pit area. Leslie, we're coming right back to you.
Yeah, Ryan Anderson should have been in the next pair out, but during introductions, he actually came out and found out that he lost the rear steering on the truck. Very critical on this super wide track with so much turning. So they're replacing the rear steer pump, and they're dropping him in pairs so he can make it back for this round.
And 3 weeks off for Bakugan Dragonoid, so a little rust there as well. Let's continue going here in round 2. It's Bryce Kenny and Great Clips Mohawk Warrior against Barry Musauer and Zombie. 2 Guinness World Record holders lined up here in round 2. Back tires on Zombie, spun a little more in that run, the starting line, and Barry hits the turn pod.
I see a trend here, Scott.
The Barry's still rolling. Bryce gets a good lane on the finish, and Bryce Kenny moving on to the semifinals.
As I watch this, I think what the problem is, if you look at these 2 lanes, you can see in the chalk line, the one that's down here by the backflip ramp, look how straight across it is. So they're getting too tight, and that's what's causing them to hit that turn pole.
Next up in round 2, it is 2-time World Finals champion Tyler Duke lined up in the right lane. He goes up against 5-time World Finals champion Adam Anderson in the left lane. Now Tyler Duke, a World Finals champion, has had no luck against Adam Anderson this season, 2-12.
There is no doubt that Adam has Todd's number this year, and I know that is eating Todd up. Look how slow Adam's going into the corner. Todd's out wide.
Super wide for Tyler Duke, but he comes back narrow. Adam Anderson with a big advantage.
Let's watch him go through this last corner. Nice turn right there. Absolutely perfect turn by Adam.
And slowing it down, as you said, Cole, fast is slow. Adam Anderson proves it with a win.
Smooth as fast.
We hear the roar from the tunnel, so I believe Ryan Anderson now making his way out to the track. Here he comes, Bakugan Dragonoid. 1 spot remains in the semifinal round. It's going to be either Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid up against Cole Vennard in the Black Pearl. Both taking great turns. The front left tire goes up on the Black Pearl, and that is the only opening Ryan Anderson's going to need.
He's just got to be smooth now, and he can easily take it.
Perfect lane for Ryan Anderson across the finish, so Bakugan advancing. Take a look now at our semifinals in Monster Energy Racing. It will be Ryan Anderson and Bakugan Dragonoid up against Jim Kohler in Avenger, and Great Clips Mohawk Warriors Bryce Kenny up against Adam Anderson in Megalodon. Let's get started here with the semifinal round. Ryan Anderson now back in business in Bakugan. He is going to pick the left lane. He had the fastest time of the night so far. And then Jim Kohler in Avenger on the opposite side. So far, Ryan Anderson 3-0 against Kohler this season. Both smooth off the starting line. Here we go into the turns. And Kohler goes wide. The back end of Avenger, all kinds of funky.
He's giving him a run for the money, Scott.
That funky like a monkey for Kohler. Here comes Ryan Anderson.
He's giving it everything he's got.
And Ryan Anderson straightens it up and takes the win. What a race. Our final matchup in the semifinal round, Adam Anderson, Megalodon. He slides into that left lane. Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior in the right lane, 3-3 on the season. A huge matchup. The winner advances to face Ryan Anderson in the finals. Bryce Kenny getting to the chalk line first.
That's that dragster background, Scott.
Takes a very tight turn, but Adam Anderson has picked it up now.
Oh, he's wide though. But look, perfect corner right there. Just hit it enough to push him right over the finish line first.
Beautiful finish. Adam Anderson, Megalodon gonna advance to the final round of Monster Energy Racing. Our final matchup is set, Anderson versus Anderson. We've seen it happen 5 times so far this season. Ryan is 3-2 against his brother Adam. It's come down to the final 2. Who's going to ride the Spirit of St. Louis to victory? We'll find out next with the Monster Energy Racing Finals on Monster Jam. Welcome to the Dome at America Center in downtown St. Louis, Missouri. It's time for the Monster Energy Racing Finals. And Leslie, you noticed something going on down the track. Adam a little slower than Ryan.
Yeah, he's going to have to pick up the pace if he wants to take him here in the finals. He's a full half second behind Bakugan's fastest time.
All right, thank you, Leslie. So even though Ryan Colt has won 7 racing competitions, Adam has more racing round wins than anybody in the field, over 50, and a lot of that has to do with the fact that Ryan was always so fast, he got the first round buys consistently throughout the season.
Well, here's something interesting too, Scott. Him being the faster time, he was able to get lane choice. And so this is the first time Adam has actually been over in the right lane. I wonder if that's going to be a disadvantage. Oh, I hear something in Ryan's truck. I hear something going on.
I think Adam got him on the jump anyway. Adam goes up on a bicycle across the race ramp.
They're both bicycling. You hear that raspiness inside of Ryan's truck?
Final turn. Ryan Anderson, look at Adam. He gets up on 2 wheels. So it doesn't matter. Ryan Anderson taking the win. What a final.
But something's wrong with Ryan's truck. Unfortunately, it could possibly take him out of the rest of the show.
Ryan Anderson getting 12 huge points as our Monster Energy Racing winner. Let's take a look at our first Bkt Overall Event Leaderboard of the night. After Monster Energy Racing, Ryan Anderson sitting at the top with 12 points. Adam Anderson with 11. Jim Kohler with 10. Bryce Kenny with 9. Todd LeDuc with 8. Rounding out our very first Bkt Top 5 of the night. And now sitting atop the leaderboard after that big win, let's head downstairs to Leslie Mears with Bakugan Dragonoid's Ryan Anderson.
Ryan, you were so fast all night, and then it seemed like everything got thrown out the window in that final round. What happened?
Me and Adam in the final round always gets me hyped. I was not nervous. I wasn't anything except for in a hurry until that round. So my skill went out the window in the last pass. I was going crazy. Adam was going crazy. We both tore the motors up trying to beat each other.
Yeah, we heard that during that final round, that it just wasn't revving right. So what happened there?
My truck actually blew a spark plug out of the cylinder, but the motor will still run. It's not that great. Running on 7 cylinders instead of 8 definitely is going to be a dampener for my power. It might be a good thing for 2-wheel skills, but for freestyle, that means I'm going to have to swing wide, hold it wide open for longer. I'm cool with it. Now I want to go see what Adam's motor's doing. If he needs to do a motor swap, I want my guys over there. The Andersons need to rock the house.
Guys, I want what some of he's got out there. The intensity level down here is just through the roof.
Thank you, Leslie. It's going to be interesting to watch the Andersons through the rest of the night. Now with the racing completed, it was time for our second competition of the event, the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Each driver had the option to attempt 2 technical maneuvers on 2 wheels or a donut. Competitors attempted a variety of moves and combinations and were judged based on creativity, skill, and execution. 12 points were on the line towards tonight's overall event championship. So let's take a quick look back at our top competitors. Adam Anderson and Megalodon, a big slap down in the Shark. He would finish in 3rd.
There it is, perfect. Drag that tail.
In 2nd, it was Mance and Max D with the maximum moonwalk and then a popper into a nose wheelie moonwalk.
He had to make a split-second decision in order to save that from going over forward.
And our winner, once again, Ryan Anderson, Bakugan Dragonoid with a huge bicycle into a cyclone, taking the win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge.
And see the truck just swaying out the tires, perfect execution.
Let's go ahead and take a look at our current Bkt overall point standings now after 2 competitions. Ryan Anderson with 24 points, Adam Anderson has 21, Jim Kohler 19, Bryce Kenny 16, and Covenar's 15 points rounds out our current Bkt Top 5. After his big win in the Great Clip Skills Challenge, Leslie Mears caught up with Ryan Anderson.
You know, Ryan, I know you were really worried about being down a cylinder out here. Did that factor into your run at all?
Absolutely not, because my crew guy Ryan Riddell was back there. He had this crazy trinket. He actually got this spark plug back in there, rethreaded the head, which if you don't know what that means, that's really hard to do. He jammed it out, got it back going, so the truck was running 100%, but there's something in this stadium. It's got to be the fans. I've done the craziest things in my entire history of Monster Jam driving right here in this place. Normally I don't do the sidewall cyclone after I go a distance. Everything just falls in place here. I love it.
And guys, it was just a couple years ago that Ryan was able to turn his season around right here in St. Louis, so maybe tonight's the night.
Ryan Anderson is now the definitive spirit of St. Louis. We're halfway through Route 21 in St. Louis, but there is still a lot of action to come with Bkt Freestyle on the way. We're going to get you primed and ready for an exciting finish here at the Dome with our official halftime report next on Monster Jam. Everyone at Monster Jam is proud to be partners with St. Jude Children's Research Hospital. Become a partner in hope and receive a custom St. Jude and Monster Jam We Won't Stop t-shirt. Text Monster Jam to 785-833 or visit stjude.org/Monster Jam to learn more. Welcome to the second half of Monster Jam here at the Dome in St. Louis. I'm Scott Jordan alongside former Brodozer driver Colt Stevens. And Colt, the Andersons came to play tonight, man. They mean business. They came out in racing, made it to the finals. They both went so hard that there are now issues with both of their trucks. They came back in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. They finished 1 and 3. What's left of the Andersons trucks for freestyle?
It's the Andersons show right now, Scott. They have got this track dialed in. They've mentioned it multiple times that this is a lucky spot for Ryan, and they both are pushing the truck to the limit, both having truck issues in racing, giving it everything they possibly have to beat each other. So definitely some sibling rivalries there, and I'm going to be interested to see which one comes out on top.
Now, the top 4 ranked drivers in the Monster Jam Power Rankings are competing here tonight. Ryan, Adam Anderson, Tom Meents, and Todd LeDuc. So let's talk about the other side of that. Tom Meents faltered in racing. He comes back, finishes second in the Great Clip Skills Challenge. But where in the heck is Todd LeDuc tonight in Monster Energy?
We see a lot more from Todd usually. He's definitely struggling, but one thing I know about Todd is he's back there, he's thinking about what he can do, how he can beat these guys. He wants to come out on top. He wants to win. Todd does not accept loss at all.
For more on the Andersons rivalry, we head downstairs as it's time for our halftime Unoh pit report with Leslie Mears.
So, Adam, it's really been a tumultuous first half of the show where you've had some issues with the truck. And so what are your doubts coming into freestyle and the fact that your truck is going to be 100%?
I was super nervous because we got the truck so hot in racing, and it's not good for it at all. But it actually was starting and continuing on, so I didn't want to stop. But it may hurt me later on. So, I kind of limped through Skills Challenge, got it one decent slap wheelie, but freestyle, I hope it doesn't hinder me.
Guys.
Thank you, Leslie. So Ryan has a legitimate shot at a perfect event, and we know he's going to bring it in freestyle regardless of the issues with the truck. So can Ryan Anderson pull off that elusive perfect event here?
We've seen him do it before. He can definitely do it again here in St. Louis.
And speaking of the Andersons, we wanted you to feel what it's like inside and even outside of the cab of Gravedigger 34 with one of the biggest stars in Monster Jam. So enjoy this special edition of Mic'd Up with Kristen Anderson.
This is my favorite one, and there's only one left. Well, I am going to take the last blue monster in here, and nobody's going to tell Todd, because if Todd finds out, there's going to be a cat fight down on the track.
Welcome to Atlanta Motor Speedway, and after 2 unpredictable rounds soaked with rain, the sun finally shines through on this historic track.
You know what's crazy is I haven't even seen the entirety of this track yet because it's, 1,000 miles long. It is an American Ninja Warrior course track out there. All right, I'm saddling up, Doug.
Saddle up, partner.
Oh, I got a GoPro in here too. Jiminy crickets. There's mud in places where mud shall not be.
Great start for Kristen, though. She hits the jammer first. It is a photo finish.
I almost beat him in racing. Did you see that?
Yeah.
That's close. I mean, mud shows are cool, but they're just a different kind of cool. It's kind of very chaotic, very uncontrolled. Hopefully it dries up good enough today by the evening show that we can compete on the track at its full potential. My strategy today is survive.
Woo! Whoa, she is going to go over Kristen Anderson. Big wow moment.
Nailed it.
I had no idea I was going to do that.
Those are the best.
And I was looking at the track, and I'm like, oh, it's dried up enough. So I just pulled up to something.
Well, that was a mess. Well, my work here is done.
These mic'd up features are always a lot of fun. Now, what would we have heard had we mic'd up Brodozer with you behind the wheel?
I guarantee you probably be hearing us talking about where we're going to celebrate our win and what we're having for dinner.
Always on the lookout here in St. Louis as well. Still to come, the big air and wow moments you've been waiting for. Bkt Freestyle is next on Monster Jam. It has been a night to remember so far inside of the Dome at America Center here in round 21, and now it's time for the final competition of the night. Now, there have been a lot of epic freestyle runs so far in 2021. We've seen backflips, saves, massive air, and some unexpected wow moments, but indoor tracks always seem to offer a few more challenges than outdoor tracks, and even though this is an indoor track, it's much deeper than most that we've seen. So what do you expect here tonight in freestyle?
Like you said, we are indoors, so we have walls, so we have to be very mindful as that as drivers, but the good news is this is a very big track with some big jumps. And the thing about it is when I do a freestyle, the one thing I want to do is get as many obstacles as I can. So the drivers are going to have to go out there, keep lots of momentum, and hit as many jumps as they can with that huge air.
Let's get back to the action on the track. It's time for Bkt Monster Jam Freestyle. And we're going to get things started in Bkt Freestyle with Cory Rubble in Rage. And now last time Cory was here on those events for Stadium Championship Series Green, he was behind the wheel of Megalodon. Of course, it was still the Rage chassis. But interesting in a round one matchup where he faced Adam Anderson and Megalodon and now had that Rage Megalodon connection. Long way around the track here on this deep, deep territory at the Dome at America Center. Cory Rubble, 4 competition wins in 2021. 2 of those came in freestyle. And he was the first driver to actually win all 3 competitions earlier this season.
Slap wheelie, nice execution. See how he's turning the wheels in the wheelie? He knew that jammer was coming, so as soon as the front touched the ground, he could turn to the right and get away.
And he slowed down and landed soft, and that worked in his favor. We see a lot of guys come off that jammer a little too rough and can't catch it like that.
Nice step on.
Into a donut now for Cory Rummel.
I like how he came out of that donut. He set himself right up to go to the next hit.
Back up onto the pot, 5 seconds left. One final move for Cory Rummel. And clearing the pot again, so we don't see a backflip for Mr. Extreme Air, but he fills the clock. It's a lot of momentum. Let's go to the Super Glue, the action replay.
That was a good run from Cory, but it's not as wild and crazy that I'm used to seeing.
Tame run when we compare the other freestyle runs this season for Cory. Here comes Kristen Anderson out of Kill Devil Hills, North Carolina, in the black and green wrecking machine. She told us earlier today, Coach, she's got new shocks.
Shocks are your lifeline on these trucks. If they're not working right, you're not able to freestyle the way you want to. You got to worry about you're going to cringe every time you jump. So you want to make sure those shocks are nice and plush and the way you want them so you can put on the best show you possibly can.
When the Stadium Championship Series started back in Houston in January, a lot of eyeballs were on Kristen Anderson, a lot of pressure on her to live up to that Gravedigger name. She had some bright, brilliant moments, a little up and down sometimes, but felt that pressure consistently delivered. And then now going back to the arena shows where she starred for the last couple of years, she's starting to get that momentum, and she went to Biloxi and just started dominating competition, and you got to think she's feeling pretty good here right now.
I like how she's just turning right back around and going to the next obstacle. She's not driving real wide. She's getting through the corner and right back to the next thing. Oh, A-Pack.
She lands this. She goes to the top of the leaderboard. Here comes Kristen Anderson.
Oh, no.
A corkscrew, and she is going to land it.
Front right is not turning.
What happened there? She corkscrewed it, then hits a single log. Didn't get enough of it, but got just enough to land it.
It didn't give her the pop backwards she was looking for, but she was able to capitalize on it. She does have a broke front end right now, so it's going to drive a little bit different. Hopefully her crew chief is talking to her and telling her what's going on.
Time is up now for Kristen Anderson. Let's take a look at the Super Glue to the action replay.
I really like how Kristen just made sure and get from one obstacle to the next. Right here you can see it just doesn't pop that front end back like she was looking for, but luckily she landed on top of that obstacle. It did break the front end of the truck, but she was able to complete her freestyle.
Up next in freestyle, Bryce Kenny, Great Clips Mohawk Warrior. You and I have talked a lot about Bryce's frustrations in Bkt Freestyle. It's been his kryptonite. He's admitted that, hasn't been able to put it together. And it's unbelievable to think about that because Bryce has really started to come into his own as a driver. He's one of the biggest stars in the sport, and the fact that he doesn't have a freestyle win here is a tragedy.
It's very surprising to me. Staying to the outside quite a bit. Now he's moving in. Good air there. Yeah, thread the needle. Thought he was going to do a slap wheelie right between those two obstacles.
Former Top Fuel superstar, Guinness World Record holder. Only man to ever drive a Monster Jam truck over 100 miles per hour. Just a stacked resume for Bryce Kenny.
Going for a slap wheelie there, just didn't get the actual bounce he was looking for. I'd like to see Bryce pick up the speed just a little bit more.
I had the honor of joining Bryce as we announced a new addition to the Great Clips Mohawk Warrior family, a new truck that will run specifically at arena shows driven by Elvis Linez. So Bryce, hugely proud of that relationship with Great Clips, now has another truck to represent in this incredible sponsorship family.
I'm excited for Elvis as well, another Houstonian just like myself.
And Bryce now lining up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp. First attempt of the night. Here we go.
Uh-oh. Oh, he almost got a double.
Almost a double Cold Steam as well.
Holy cow.
An unbelievable bounce. Take us through the super glue to the action replay.
That one's super hard to call. He didn't have too much speed going in. It was nice. Maybe just a little bit, but the back tires didn't even touch. And he just had too much tire speed when the front tires hit. Watch, when it comes around, it rotates. The back tires barely even touch the ramp, and I think it just under-rotated him. He wasn't prepared and had too much momentum, and that's what almost got him a consecutive back-to-back flip.
It was a great freestyle competition. Not everybody was able to get to the top of the BKT leaderboard. Let's take a look at some of our lower performing trucks. Covenard in the Black Pearl filled the clock, wasn't able to get it done. Barry Musauer in Zombie also filled the clock, but rear steer issues plaguing him. Lindsey Reed and Monster Mutt Galaxy rolled off the pod. Jamie Garner and Overboard, his run ended prematurely at 54 seconds, and Adam Anderson and Megalodon blew a motor and did not get a score. 8 trucks have now completed their freestyle run, so let's check in on our current BKT Top 5. Bryce Kenny, the failed attempt at the back-to-back flip, still lands it, gets the score, and he now is in the lead. Kristen Anderson and Gravedigger drops to second. Cory Rummel in Rage in third. Covenard in the Black Pearl in fourth. And Barry Musauer in fifth, rounding out our current BKT Freestyle Top 5. Tom Meents was right in the middle of the series championship when we headed to Tampa for round 14, and he pulled out all the stops in what was an unreal freestyle run.
You know, one thing about Tom Meents is he knows how to capitalize on a bad situation, and that's what he did here.
And it started right here. He lines up for this big air, and then the magic happened.
And then right here, you can see that truck take a bounce, but he uses that to his advantage and grabs the brake, steps it up on the front 2 tires, and even puts it in reverse to do a moonwalk. Great move.
Tom Meents, Max D Fire with the Monster Energy action of the week. The event championship is on the line. Who's going to take the trophy? We're going to find out when freestyle concludes next on Monster Jam. Welcome to the exciting conclusion of round 21 in St. Louis. Now let's take a look at our current BKT overall leaderboard. Ryan Anderson with 24 points. Adam Anderson has 21. Jim Kohler 19. Bryce Kenny 16. And Covenard's 15 points rounds out our current BKT Top 5. This 2-time World Finals freestyle champion Jim Kohler in Avenger. Let's head on downstairs to Leslie Mears.
Guys, why the fans love the Monster Energy trench box backflip. Jim Kohler said that he's not really a fan, that he loves the 8-pack because it's more consistent for him. He said that his truck is longer and heavier than the other ones out there, and it reacts faster to those tires that stick out on the 8-pack. He said he's landed 50% of them this year, and so he's looking forward to it tonight and hoping he can land one here.
All right, thank you, Leslie.
Cool!
And then off the side of the jammer,
something different. You have to go back to what Leslie said, and I have to agree with Jim. That's you've seen already tonight. Whenever Kristen didn't quite make her flip, it still worked out for her. Whenever Bryce didn't make his flip, it was catastrophic to the truck. So sometimes the 8-pack is a cleaner choice.
Oh, Kohler with a save, and he's got a chance to do it again.
Nice!
On the sidewalls, Jim Kohler landing the save of the night so far.
Woo, he did not quit on that one.
Did not quit at all. A save and then another save. But here comes Kohler now going for the backflip.
I can't believe it.
And he is going to land this too. Oh, a bounce, a late bounce. It looked like he had it go, but a late bounce on the back right tire cost him that. What a run. Let's go to the Super Glue to the action replay.
I wonder why he chose to do that. I think he might have seen what happened to Kristen. Great save right here. Gets over on the sidewalls, doesn't quit on it, and absolutely just gets it up on the side and was able to save it. What a great job. But here, he hits the brakes in the air, tries to slow the rotation down, just wasn't quite able to get it slowed down quick enough. Quite a bit of damage to the back of that truck.
Here comes two-time World Finals champion Ryan Anderson in Bakugan Dragonoid. He won Monster Energy Racing. He won the Great Clip Skills Challenge. Now a chance at a perfect event. Starts it off with a big jump, clearing that step up by a mile.
Setting a tone early. Two things that does for a driver. One, it lets you know how the shocks are working, how this run's gonna go. And the other thing is it gets your heart rate up there. You can really get your adrenaline flowing. Oh yeah! Doesn't even care that Jammer's over there. It's great truck awareness. He knew where it was, and that way he didn't jump right into it. Man, he's really airing that truck out. I heard a pop.
Great Clips Mohawk Warrior, just
Nice
carnage
air
on the side of that backflip ramp as Ryan Anderson just went right past it.
Turns right back around, right back towards the obstacle.
Yeah, he doesn't miss a beat here. You know, doesn't plan a lot of the freestyle run out, but he sees the entire track for what it is. Doesn't miss a beat, just in the best momentum of any driver I've ever seen in freestyle.
Yeah. Uh-oh. Yep, something locked up on him.
Something did not go right there. We heard it.
Got a little fire on the brakes in the front. Fired back up.
He's got it. 30 seconds left.
That front brake rotor is hot. He's got to be careful. The tech officials will shut him down if they get much hotter.
Yeah, he is pushing that thing to its absolute limit, end over end, off the pod, gets a wheelie on the backside. Oh,
too much.
And right into the corner, we see the flames, but he's gonna save it, but Ryan Anderson's run is over. Here's a Super Glue to the action replay for Bakugan Dragonoid.
Look at this huge air. Boom, you can see the tires shake when it lands. Comes around here. This is kind of a cool move. I don't know what he was setting up. I think he was trying to get a little wild, but this power wheelie, that is way cool. He just wasn't able to shut it down in time. He got over in one of those ruts over there, and it put him over on his lid.
Let's head downstairs to Leslie Mears.
Guys, Todd LeDuc took advantage of the last couple weeks off to reset and keep his brain at speed. He said when you have a heavy stretch of events, your mind and body go into overdrive and you just go, 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 go. So over the break, he just really slowed down, he refocused, and he's so excited to be here this weekend.
All right, thank you, Leslie. Todd takes a lot of pride in finishing behind Ryan Anderson in second in the Stadium Series Championship. Said if he couldn't finish in first, second is where he would have had to have been. But he has won more freestyles than anybody here. 4 freestyle wins on the year. So Todd, you know, up and down all season long, but has always been solid in freestyle.
Sure is staying on the outside, kind of swinging wide for everything. I hope he hits his wheel hard right here. Nice, good air. Perfect execution, complete control of that truck at all times.
And now Todd LeDuc gonna make a sharp turn. He will line up for the Monster Energy backflip ramp.
He's gonna have to go slow, slow.
Gets it in, gets it up, gets the bounce. And oh, what a save for Todd LeDuc.
We saw him do that once already this year. That's why he comes away with this freestyle win.
Thought he was dead in the water, catches it on one tire, lands it. That has to be the save of the night. Take a look now at the Super Glue to the action replay.
Right here, he comes in with quite a bit of speed. Just over-rotates, catches that front end. He doesn't have the tires spinning, but luckily he was able to get enough rotation to get those front tires to grab something and get him back on all 4 tires.
And we're down to our final competitor, Mance and Max D.
Tom's got some big shoes to fill now. He needs one of those crazy, out-of-control Max D freestyles. Yeah!
There is a huge jump, gets a lot of space.
All the way to flat.
On the front 2 tires, now landing it back down, whips it around onto the jammer. Bounce on, bounce off. Smooth for Tom Mance.
Do you hear how he zinged it off of that jump there, making sure and keep that front end up so that what happened to Lindsay where she caught the rear end and rolled over early doesn't happen to him.
Yeah, Tom
almost got another one of those moves.
Yeah, Tom is capable of getting a big air whenever he wants it. But what I love about Tom is he knows when to get, the lesser elevation and keep it low and get that acceleration on that jump. So instead of going high, he goes low and clears a lot of space off the floor.
He's so comfortable in that truck. Did you see him coming to that jump? He had his hand out the window waving at the crowd.
Rough landing on that one.
Ugh. That's what's crazy about his truck is it's so much different than all the other chassis. You can hear it. It's on coil springs. He's the only truck that has springs around his shocks, and he also doesn't run any sway bars. So that's why you see the truck lean a little bit more than the other ones.
There's a big jump for Tom Mance. Whips it around. Slide slap. Oh! A side slap into a save. Well done, Tom Mance. Giving everybody a lesson here. Let's take a look at the super glue glued to the action replay for Tom Mance.
Watch right here. Big air, huge air. Catches a crazy bounce, tries to go for a moonwalk or a stoppie. You see he locks the brakes up there, so he did know where he was. You can see at the end of that rollover, though, definitely has some damage to the rear of that truck, a four-link bar or something. You can see the whole axle shift in the rear.
Let's take a look at our Bkt Freestyle Top 5. Tyler Duke with the run of the night. Monster Energy will get his 5th freestyle win of the season. Jim Kohler and Avenger in 2nd. Ryan Anderson, brilliant night for him. He's in 3rd. Tom Mance in 4th. And Bryce Kenny rounding out our Bkt Freestyle Top 5. And down on the track right now, Leslie Mears is with our freestyle winner, Tyler Duke.
So tonight, Todd, you were sitting back here watching as everybody was really throwing it down. How were you able to put together that run with so many big wow moments and saves after you'd seen the competition in front of you?
You know what the biggest thing was? Going second to last. So I got to see Ryan Anderson go, Adam, a bunch of great runs. So I pulled from every one of their little skills or their cool moments and put them in my run. And I wasn't going to flip, to be honest with you. But that last second, I thought, you know what? I'm going to rub it in Tom's face. I'm going to put all the pressure on Tom. And we landed the backflip, luckily, with a safe little recovery. Did a big air, and we ended it. Hey, just unbelievable. My hat's off to Jeff, all the guys. This is awesome.
Guys.
An awesome end to Tyler Duke's night. Not enough to get him the event championship as we take a look at our final Bkt overall event leaderboard. Ryan Anderson going to win this one big with 34 points. Jim Kohler with 30. Todd will get up to that 3rd spot with 25 points. Bryce Kenny with 24. And Tom Mance with 22. That is our final Bkt overall event top 5. So the luck continues for Ryan Anderson in St. Louis. He's down on the track right now with Leslie Mears.
Overcoming so much adversity and then putting up that huge freestyle. Was that a power wheelie that I saw tonight?
That was a power wheelie that I may have went a little too far, but it worked out amazing. I slung that thing up there, and once that power wheelie sets in, it's something that's near and dear to me. I love it. I love horsepower. That thing set up in the air. I was going with it. When I brought it down, I knew I was in trouble, but luckily it landed back on 4 wheels. I was right up there by the fans. It couldn't have been a better cherry on top for the run. But man, this whole night was just amazing. My crew guys, they know when they come here that I'm going to be tearing it up no matter what truck I'm in. So they're ready for it. We're ready for the next event. I can't wait.
Guys.
Thank you, Leslie. Ryan Anderson might end up moving to St. Louis with all the luck he has here, winning his 6th event championship of the season. Caught a lot of wreckage out there tonight. Still 2 more rounds here. What kind of effect will that have on the drivers and the trucks going into next round?
Well, the drivers are ready to go. They did have a lot of damage out here, but we have the best of the best and crew chiefs out there. They'll get these trucks back and ready to go for the next event, but this shows you those drivers were definitely pushing the limits out there this evening.
2 more fast-paced rounds of action here in St. Louis still to come. It's going to be a dynamic weekend here at the Dome. Make sure you join us for all the action. For Colt Stevens and Leslie Mears, I'm Scott Jordan. Good night from St. Louis. We'll see you next time on Monster Jam.